Everyone at WagerTalk would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. With a full day of football on Thanksgiving, football all day Black Friday, plus a normal Saturday, Sunday, and Monday slate of games, we have a special Turkey Day offer for you. Football for the rest of November through Monday, November 30th for only $69 for this entire week of football. There is no limit to the number of handicappers you can buy during this Thanksgiving special. Pay only $69, save money, get your winners in a quick, convenient fashion, and have a great Thanksgiving weekend.
Welcome to Wager Talk Today. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers. And sorry, we're a few minutes late, everybody. So lots to talk about, Teddy. Before we even get to the lead story, first off, on the show today, Steve Merril. He's awesome. We're looking at all three of the NFL football games tomorrow. After him, Arthur DiCesare. We're going to talk where the money went, where it's going, and a whole lot of other stuff. And, of course, the end of the show, Ralph Michaels. Guys, as you can see, we have a new image in the back of me. What we're going to be doing is every day we're going to be changing this image. Tweet us what city the image behind me is at hashtag WagerTalk Today. $25 to the first person to get it right. What city is it? I will move. There's that famous building. Anyway, right off the top, Teddy, we just got alerted Diego Maradona, one of the single greatest athletes in history. Really an iconic and polarizing figure, just passed away. Happened minutes ago. R.I.P. to this man, the most colorful nutcase genius of the last 100 years in soccer. Rip Diego Maradona. Teddy, Joe didn't know who he was. Do you?
A little bit. You know, he hasn't moved the needle for me in my life. I can't say that, but may he rest in peace. My condolences to his family.
Yeah, well, it wasn't unexpected. The guy was insane. Anyway, huge happy birthday to Kelly Stewart today. Steve Merril pointed out, Teddy, that Kelly shares the same birthday as you.
Yeah, everyone seems to share the same birthday as me. I got it. So it's funny when people tweet stuff. Usually, if I don't respond, I try to like it. And someone's like, "Isn't it your birthday too today?" I'm not liking that tweet. No, sorry. It's just played out. It's a little bit played out for me. But happy birthday, Kelly. That video is that video available?
Yeah,
birthday video.
Joe, do you have that video?
Yeah. Oh, shh.
Oh. It's okay. Kelly is too big for us to watch this show. Anyway, lead story today, Teddy, you go. Take it away, brother.
So we have two. I was going to change the lead right before we came on, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties because Nick Saban just got COVID again. I guess the first time was a false positive, and now this time it's not a false positive, and he does have symptoms, and it's likely to affect the Iron Bowl this weekend, where Alabama takes on Auburn. Nick Saban will not be the Crimson Tide head coach for that game. So that's certainly a pretty big lead. The other lead, obviously, what we were going to go with is that we have college hoops right now as we speak. It just got out of halftime. And Xavier Oakland just tipped off, but we had one game at halftime already. Abilene Christian and East Tennessee State. The Bucks trail by 10 at the break. That game just went in the second half. But we're talking college hoops. It's officially college hoops season, Lawrence, and that's certainly exciting news in a year that we honestly didn't know that we were going to see it. There's likely to be plenty of postponements and cancellations. There's likely to be all kinds of issues in college basketball. But the fact that we have bettable games, dozens and dozens of them today, is very much a positive sign. Nothing but good vibes on that.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Look, I'm one of those guys that have 4 TVs in the living room, 3 TVs and a computer monitor. It's going to be a day of sports. Same with tomorrow. Same with Friday. I'm excited. Teddy, Steve Merril, we love him. Is he wearing the Martian helmet, headphones, whatever you want to call it? Where is he? Let's bring him in. No, but he did definitely. Steve, do we not deserve you at least brushing your hair?
That's why, Prez, since I can't wear the headset anymore, I got to give you something to talk about. So I came out with a bedhead for you. It's actually, it's wetted down just a little bit in respect for Teddy, because I do respect his side here. But so it's a little half and half. It's a little party, a little play, a little business, a little, Thanksgiving Day. It's all rolled into one here for the Wednesday show.
Steve, it shocks
There we go.
me.
Could have been worse. See?
Oh my God! Brilliant picture. Steve Merril, it absolutely shocks
stop
me
for a minute.
That
I have to jump in. That's not a caricature picture, right? That's like a real 80s pick or is that an 80s pick or a 90s pick?
Actually,
that
that's
wasn't a wig?
That is a wig. Actually,
That's a
the hair
wig.
could almost get like that, but it would never be that black. It's more brown. But that is Teddy. That's Halloween. It's either 2001. I believe it's 2002, possibly 2001, but I think it's 2002 Halloween.
It's a wig. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Well,
I
by the way,
that was real.
Yeah, but more
and
importantly,
you'll see I have the William and Mary basketball outfit on, so it's very fitting that we have that here in the first day of college hoops, actually. And I believe that's a U.S. Olympics '84 wristband, so there is some '80s there for you, Teddy.
Oh my God, our producer is rolling on the floor laughing. Okay.
I just want to know how Joe found my password to social media.
In our ear. Oh my lordy, Lord. Jerry and Rigo are wishing me a happy birthday, Teddy. It's starting to turn, baby. Steve, are you amazed that Joe and Teddy, one hasn't heard of Diego and the other one barely knows who this guy is? I mean, it's shocking to me.
Yeah, I think they're full of it. I think Teddy definitely knew, and I think Joe probably knew. He just, he was hustling getting the show up there. But
Teddy, have you heard of Pele? Have you heard of Pele?
I didn't say I didn't know who he was. I said he never moved the needle for me. I never paid any attention to him.
Okay.
It's not a sport that I follow. Let's talk NFL, because I know there's people out there that are waiting for us to break down the 3 Thanksgiving Day NFL games. So why don't we start with that instead of talking about soccer great from 40 years ago who just passed.
Okay, Steve, let's go. Houston -3 versus Detroit, a total of 51.5. And I know you're looking at the total here. So break it down, make us some money.
Yeah, instead of L football, we'll talk about American football right here. So we're keeping it in the same genre. But by the way, I got to give a shout out to Jason Miller. Sent me that photo. He took that photo 18 years ago. He watches WagerTalk Today, Prez, and he was watching the show last Wednesday. I didn't even realize he was watching it. And he goes, "You want me to send you that photo?" I was like, "Yeah, that has to happen." So special shout out there to Jason Miller. He's watching right now. A good friend of mine. Texans and Lions. It's the early kickoff. We didn't have a line until a few days ago because Matthew Stafford's been in and out. He is expected to play. He's probable. Sean Watson's in for the Texans, and I think we'll get some points because of that. A big win for Houston last week against New England. I did an NFL video for WagerTalk TV last week. I made a new video, a weekly video. It's the public plays. And if you played against all 4 of those, you went 4-0 last week, and one of them was the Patriots. So the Texans were a very ugly underdog last week. They got it done. Tough turnaround spot here, though, and just 3 days rest and travel for them, even though I do think they're the better team in this game. But I think the safer play is the over 51.5 because I think both teams can put some points up. Would like to get 51. Very key number, as you all know, with totals. But at 51.5, I still think there's some value with the over.
So are we worried at all about the skill position injuries for Detroit? Because obviously they got shut out last week. They were playing without Galladay. They were playing without Amendola. And they were playing without Swift. And when you look at Stafford this year, when Galladay's in the lineup versus when he's not, it's a full yard per pass attempt less. Without Galladay, he's already been downgraded to doubtful. Swift and Amendola still questionable for tomorrow's game. Would you be willing to play the over in this game if the Lions skill position studs don't play?
Yeah, the best way to play this, Teddy, might be the team total over for the Texans because I do lean towards Houston in this game. I lean towards the over. I chose the over here to talk about it. Probably the best way to play it, though, really is Houston over because then it takes that uncertainty out for the Lions offense. And I do think they'll get better over the next week or two, even with limited players. We've seen Dallas, a team we'll talk about next. We've seen them get better. But what the concern is here, of course, is it's a short week, just 3 days of prep time. So it's not a great setup to all of a sudden turn things around. I do like to look for overs when teams get shut out. Doesn't happen hardly at all anymore in the NFL. But the short week is a concern. So if you want to be safe, the team Texans team total over might be the best way to play it.
Steve Merril, everybody. You can find him at WagerTalk.com. Guys, remember the background image that I'm using. If you know what city it's in, hashtag me or whatever. Tweet me. I don't know the social media lingo. Hashtag WagerTalk Today. First person who guesses the city gets $25 of wager bucks. Steve and Teddy, yesterday on the NFL presidential address, Ralph Michaels came up with just a ridiculously good statistic. 27 shutouts in the last 20 years. Teddy, 80% ATS on the team that got shut out the week after. Does that shock you, surprise you, or feels right to you? It's an unbelievable stat.
So Ralph Michaels, of course, gave that stat out on this show as well, Prez. And the caveat that he gave was that of the losses, they said it hit 80% in short term. The longer term was still very, very good. But of the losses, they were all coming on the Thursday and on the short turnaround games where teams had less time to prep. So it's something that Ralph and I discussed on the show either yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I wasn't paying
shocked.
attention.
I know you weren't, Lawrence. You don't pay attention, but that's not your job.
But I do pay attention to the NFL presidential address up at Wager Talk right now. Okay, so now you guys have heard that stat twice. Washington +3 versus Dallas, Steve, 46. You're going straight back to the over. Tell us why.
Yeah, this actually is kind of what we were talking about with Detroit. I mentioned Dallas obviously was an offensive mess after losing Dak Prescott about a month ago. But it does look like they're slowly picking things up here. And, they had 3 points against the Redskins in that meeting a month ago, had just 9 against the Eagles that Sunday night or right after it. But they've now put up 50 points their last 2 games combined, including 31 last week. They basically scored as many points last week. In fact, they scored exactly as many points last week as the 3 previous games combined. So I think that can maybe be the buy sign for some over here. I don't know if I'm ready to back a 3-7 team straight up laying 3 points here. Also not sure I'm ready to back the Redskins, Washington football team, whatever you want to call them, on the road, getting only 3 points. So I'm going to look at the over here as the better way to play this one. Never afraid to take an over in the modern day NFL. Obviously, the Cowboys made it a bit fearful a few weeks ago, but I think that offense is clicking now. It is a short week, but I see no reason they can't keep that momentum going. And the Redskins also, I think, are getting better offensively with Alex Smith at quarterback. A few weeks ago, many of the betting markets had him as the comeback player of the year, and he'd yet to really play a full game. He's looked even better now that he's played a couple full games. And I think both teams can get there, and this will be a lot different than when these teams played a month ago on October 25th, and we saw a 25-3 final. I think the Cowboys get more than a field goal in this one.
So, Steve, I ran into a stat today. I'm going to ask Ralph to independently confirm it for me. But the stat that I ran into said favorites on Thanksgiving Day games. 40-6 straight up, 33-13 ATS since 2004. All you do is bet the favorite on Thanksgiving. And we talked yesterday with Dave Sharpen talking about how Thanksgiving Day tends to be good for bettors. It's clear the Cowboys are the public side here. It's clear the Cowboys are the team that the betting marketplace wants to support. Given that track record and given all the issues with Washington, can you lay it with the Cowboys here?
If you are going to lay it, I'd do the 3 or less right now. This line, the look-ahead line was 1.5 to 2 a week ago for this game. Now it's -3, but it is even money. So, maybe it comes back down. I doubt it, though, Teddy. Like you said, looks like the public's going to be on the favorite in this one. So I think if you like the Redskins, you hold, maybe get a 3.5 by kickoff tomorrow afternoon. Although I think it stays on this key number because right now it's juiced a little bit towards the underdog. And one thing I want to point out about these Thursday games, I've been saying this for a couple of years now, that we have a larger sample size with the Thursday night weekly games. I think it definitely favors, I've always said the home team because both teams play on 3 days rest, but they lose a day with travel. But I think a better argument, like you just said, Teddy, is really the favorite. the better team. And it makes a lot of sense. If you're on a short week, the better team has the edge because preparation and game planning is less of a factor than it would normally be with a full week of preparation. And it's an angle I used to use years ago in the NCAA tournament on those second and fourth round games on Saturday and Sunday when there was just one day of turnaround. I always thought that favored the better team. And for many years, we saw those medium-sized favorites do quite well in that role in the NCAA tournament.
Great stuff, Steve. Man, I tell you, we're lucky to have you with us. You guys can find Steve at WagerTalk.com. Teddy, Johnny thought you should come on the show. You look like a pilgrim, he said. Steve, you waited in there. You agreed.
I'd said it was his birthday also. That's Thanksgiving Day, birthday.
There you go.
Yeah,
is that me?
That is.
Who the hell is that other guy, Joe? That ain't me.
That's a good look for me.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah. The angry face in the middle of a pumpkin or something. Steve, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, the night game. Baltimore, that line, man, there is just crazy amounts of money coming in on Pittsburgh. It just keeps moving and moving and moving. 5.5s out there now. Total 44.5. It's been bet down as well. How do we approach this game?
Yeah, line has really been jumping around. When I sent it over to you late last night, it was 5. There are a lot of 5.5. So I said, well, let's put 5/5.5. And now as we do it, 12 hours later, it's 4.5. It's been dropping this morning. It's all because of COVID. The look ahead line a week ago was 1.5 in this game. I don't know which way I'm going to end up on this on Thursday night. We really have to see what happens. The Ravens are now talking about not going up to Pittsburgh until tomorrow morning on Thursday and taking a flight straight up there in the morning. We talk about how these home teams on short rest have the edge on Thursday games. That definitely appears to maybe be the case here. It'll also be the last home game this year with Pittsburgh allows fans. They're going to have about 5,800 fans. The governor is shutting that down after this week. It'll be friends and family only after this week. So this will be Pittsburgh's last semi-home game, even though it'll only be like 1/10 the attendance. Difficult handicap here, but I do think the line value is with the Ravens, and I would lean that way right now. I used them last week as a play for my clients. It obviously did not work out. They were up 21-10 in the third quarter, though, found a way to lose outright in overtime. A few weeks earlier, I had them as a best bet against the Colts. A lot of sharp money came in on Indianapolis that Sunday morning. The Ravens still won that game rather easily on the road. It's do or die for Baltimore. I do agree they're probably a little bit of an overrated team this season, but now at just 6-4 and off back-to-back losses, you can almost make an argument they're a little bit underrated. And just about 3 weeks ago, they were still the second favorite overall in the betting markets after the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. So this is still a good team. Kind of have their backs against the wall. Just wish I knew a little bit more clarity about the COVID situation. I don't think it's going to affect them. It looks like they will play this game. And boy, you got to imagine, guys, the NFL does not want to have to cancel the Thursday night Thanksgiving game. So we'll see how serious they really are about the COVID protocols. I'd be shocked if this game doesn't happen.
So, Steve, this series is, I'm not going to call it unique because there are other series like it, but it's a series where mentally we're all thinking you can't lay points. You can't lay points. I went back and looked at the numbers, the last 10 meetings, dog 9-1 at ATS. And yet we think they're all close games. Of the last 10 meetings, only 3 of them have been decided by a field goal or less. We always think this is the field goal series, and if you're getting 3.5, it's just too much. So it's been all dogs, and many times those dogs have been bigger than a field goal. And yet you look at the matchups, you say, here's Lamar Jackson, he's struggling. Here's this Ravens offensive line with cluster injuries. Here's the Ravens defensive line with cluster injuries. Baltimore looks very much like last year's team as opposed to Pittsburgh, who looks like this year's team. When you have that much conflicting info and then the COVID situation to boot with multiple Ravens missing time and missing practice and maybe missing the game, to me, it's a real tough game to bet. Even today, for a game that's being played tomorrow, there are just so many questions.
I totally agree with you. Of the 3 games that we're discussing today, this is the one that was hardest for me to come up with something early on here. And it's really just, at this point, it would be a line value kind of contrarian call with the Ravens. And I totally agree with you, Teddy, about the closeness, tightness of the series. Reminds me of the Saints-Falcons back in the day. Remember, those were always 3-point margins,
Sure.
The underdog as well. But this one makes a lot of sense because these are usually 2 playoff caliber teams. So it makes even more sense here. The one concern here is this short week once again. You you would have loved Baltimore off a bye week in this situation because they're struggling back-to-back losses, still a quality team, need to get healthy. But yeah, not only are they struggling, but they have 3 days and then they lose the travel factor as well, might have to go up Thursday morning. So even though the situational setup would normally point me to the Ravens here, the exact reasons you just mentioned there makes this game very difficult to call.
Steve Merril, we got to run. I got a promo for you, though, and it's a beaut. Guys, as you know, we're running a black. What is so funny now, Teddy?
Because you're very enthusiastic. It's a beaut. Like,
yes,
this is a good one.
So Teddy, the way this works is simple. Somebody has to balance your misery out, and that is my role.
Oh, I'm smiling
Teddy.
at you.
Okay,
I'm not being mean. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying your enthusiasm.
Okay, well, I am enthusiastic, and I hit a personal best on the Peloton this morning. Not that you care. Anyway, guys, we've been running a promo all week, our Black Friday promo. Oh, my God, that's brilliant. All right.
That's more like Halloween. It looks like a witch.
I love how much fun our producer has. That is so good. Anyway, we've been running a promo all week, Black Friday, $1,000 off of a year of anyone's plays. Literally $1,000 off, $999 for a year of anyone's plays. The promo code you can use at WagerTalk or Sports Memo. It's BF999, BF999. Anybody who buys Steve Merril's full year, we're going to add $200 back into your account in WagerBucks. Just email support@wagertalk.com. Support@wagertalk.com. Steve, tweet it out, brother. $200 back for anybody who purchases Steve Merril's full year. Use the promo code BF999. Steve, anything quickly to promote, and we got to go because Teddy couldn't get his microphone working and the show started late.
No, that's just a fantastic offer. You know, basically, you're getting the $200 credit, so it's like getting a full year for $7.99. That works out to $2 a day. You figure I have at least about 2 plays on average. So that's working out to $1 per play for the next year of every sport, every day for myself. So, yeah, BFF, what was it, $9.99, and then make sure you email support@wagertalk.com for an additional $200 back in your pocket. Use it for Prez, use it for Teddy's best bets as well.
BF999.
It's not BFF.
Yeah,
I'm his BFF. It's Black Friday. Yeah.
It is.
Okay,
BF.
Steve, enough. Our segment is over. Steve, you are a pleasure. Teddy, you are a misery. We're right back with Teddy's Bad Beat segment, and then Arthur DiCesare, Ralph Michaels. So much going on. There is no Bad Beat segment, right, Teddy?
No, just keep promoting it. Tell everyone how great it's going to be.
It's going to be epic. You know what, Joe? Go to Teddy.
A Black Friday sale is a once-a-year chance to buy something you want at the best price of the year. Save $1,000 and pay only $999. That's only $19.21 per week for 365 days of your favorite capper at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com. Use coupon code BF999 at checkout when purchasing a 1-year all-access pass. This offer does expire Friday, November 27th at 11:59 p.m., so do not miss your chance to save $1,000 off and lock in your favorite capper for the next 12 months.
Teddy, what? You can't do a Bad Beat segment because there were no games last night? Is that your excuse?
Well, there was soccer. I could probably try to do a soccer Bad Beats segment, but I didn't watch any of them. I'm not paying any attention to the markets, and it would make for a very poor segment. So we'll talk bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books every day during basketball season and hockey season. You can even give me your hockey ones, Prez. I'm happy to talk about them, but soccer, nah. Sorry, can't do it.
Way less bad beats in hockey, brother. Guys, I want to welcome you all into the chat room. 277 of you watching the show already. We love having you. 67 likes. Offhand, that means 200 and change of you have not liked the show. Teddy, I did learn something today. We had 2 thumbs down literally before the show begun. So I have figured that there are jealous competitors who just show up at the beginning of our show, hit a thumbs down, and disappear. We're okay with that because, well, people are only jealous of the best, right?
Well, I mean, we had minor technical difficulties this morning that caused us to be a few minutes late. Maybe people were in a hurry. People are allowed to have their opinion. We don't like it when they share negative ones, but they're allowed to have it.
I love the negative opinions. A guy last week wrote, Prez is annoying some of the times. My response, and the other times. So I throw them, bring them. So long as they comment, I'm happy. It helps us move up the rankings at YouTube. Let's welcome some people in. Joseph Browning, I haven't seen your name. David Bennett, what's the false positive rate now? I don't know what you're talking about, but welcome to the show. Darren Cool, Naota Ronan, and another name I haven't seen, Mark Mason, our usual guests, Elliot, Lou Dino, Dale S., Max Papier, T. Wallace, Jim Tepe. God, man, we just love having all of you guys with us. Elliot has come up with an incredible date for Kelly on her birthday. I don't think she's going to show up, though, Teddy. I have a slight feeling that she's going to miss out on it.
I would imagine that the question about the false positive rate has something to do with the Nick Saban lead. That would, again, if you're paying attention to what we're actually talking about during the course of the show, some of this stuff might make a little bit more sense to you. It might not, but that's certainly a reference to something we've talked about on the show that the comment could easily come into play for. So,
Teddy, I'm in such a great
mood. You keep daydreaming, brother. Yeah,
I am in such a great mood. I am not going to take your bait today. Arthur DiCesare, Sportsbook manager at the LINQ. Let's bring him in. We got lots to talk to you about, Arthur, but first and foremost, welcome to our show. And I have instructions from our fearless leader, Johnny Detroit. Should we start with that, or do you want to just say hello first?
No. Sorry. Hello, Arthur. Oh, you're asking Arthur or me?
Arthur.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving.
Arthur, you look good today, man. Do you get a haircut, a beard cut? Like, you just look good.
Nah, it's just same old me, Prez.
Okay, so here's my question, and then we're going to get into all the sports stuff. We want to do it when we can. COVID is going to end at some point soon. We want to do a big bash at the LINQ. We want to invite all our viewers down, listeners, all our clients. Who do we speak to? How do we get it going? We want to take over the sportsbook for a party.
Yeah, I mean, I can be you're in on that. I'm pretty good friends with our beverage manager, Ryan. So yeah, just let me know when we're trying to do that. And, I can open the lines of communication. We'll get it done.
Okay, perfect. I will let Johnny know. And likely Missy will be. What now, Teddy? What is your problem today?
Because it's so funny, dude. You're asking a question that the only possible answer is, hey, you could talk to me about that. That's one of the things that I do. I can help you with that.
And not only that,
it's not hard.
Teddy, you can take that a step further. We've already gone there, Joe. Teddy, you can take that a step further. I basically asked him live, meaning that he actually can't even say no.
That is true. He couldn't say no anyway.
That's
he wasn't
true.
going to say no anyway. Arthur likes when we come down to the book. He likes when we want to throw parties at his sports book. I'm sure he'd be interested in having us come. Maybe I'm overstepping my bounds, but that's what I think.
Arthur, please, let's talk sports. I'm done with Teddy. Okay, Teddy, you want to go or me?
Oh, you go,
you
Lawrence.
Go.
Right.
No, you go.
No, I insist.
Please, Teddy, go.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So when it actually comes down to asking, we're not even going to go there. Arthur, let's first look back real quick. The reports that I've seen and heard said that this was the single best week of the NFL season for the sports books. Basically, every big decision went your way, both against the public and against the wise guys. Is that the case? Is that an over-exaggeration, or was week 12 week 12? Yeah. No, week 11, the best week of the year NFL-wise for the LINQ and other sports books on the Las Vegas Strip?
Yeah, Teddy, I don't think you're overstating that. Week 11 was phenomenal. I mean, there was just so many basically big decisions that all went our way. The Broncos was huge. The Raiders ended up being huge. Saints, Jets. I mean, I could just rattle them down. Even Monday night was good for us. There was more money on Tampa than there was on the Rams. So, by the time we got to Sunday, people would think that the Chiefs killed us maybe with some teaser liability, but everyone's teasers were dead by Sunday night. So week 11, very good for the sports books.
So when you have a day like that, is it celebrations in the back? Is everyone high-fiving each other? Or are you like, woo, woo, woo? Or is it just, business as usual? But as you're managing the book, are you excited about these decisions the way that bettors are? Or is it just, yeah, we had a good day, so be it. We'll worry about next week.
No, Ted, I think we've joked on the show before. You really have to take it day in and day out. Yeah, it was nice, but you got to move on to the next day. I mean, bettors are going to be a little bit more emotional because, maybe they're just there for the weekend. So, this is their only weekend to come bet. We're here 365 days a year. So we really have to try to keep an even keel, whether we win or lose, and just move on to the next day.
Arthur, Thanksgiving Thursday, I'm guessing that's a monster for you guys at the books. Let's get some actionable information. The Baltimore-Pittsburgh game, this line is moving all over the place. I went to bed, there were 5.5s on the board. Now back to an almost even 4. Couple of one or two 5s. Total has been bet down. Any advice? What are you seeing on this game? Anybody you deeply respect betting this game that we should know about?
Lawrence, nothing as far as that goes, as far as like a sharp guy that I really respect who's on one side or the other. But I'm totally with you. This game has bounced around. It doesn't shock me that, the number is sitting where it's at right now. It's kind of really hard to trust the Ravens. The Ravens have not looked good. Yeah, they're 6-4, but they don't look like they did last year. And the under moving, the total moving down to, more of an underplay I could see because it's more of a slugfest when these two teams play normally. But to me, this is Pittsburgh or nothing.
Pittsburgh
Teddy?
or nothing. Yeah. I'm sorry, Lawrence. It looks like you're gone now, which is the best that we could hope for. So I ran into a stat. Favorites on Thanksgiving Day, 33-13 ATS since 2004. Where the public, like of all the days to fade the public, Thanksgiving Day is not the day to do it. And I've seen it with my own eyes, year in, year out. The public sides come in. You're trying to play contrarian on Thanksgiving. You get slapped around a little bit. Have you noticed that? And are you sensing any extreme support for the favorites, let's say, in the first two games with Dallas and Houston, both laying a field goal?
Yeah, Teddy, I would say the one that I would think seeing more support on the favorite is Houston. I know you guys touched on the injury report. You got to be very wary in that game because, listen, the Lions have a ton of injuries. It looks like Galladay will be out. Who knows about DeAndre Swift? But, if you're going to play that game, be very cautious of the injury report. Obviously, last thing we saw, Lions got shut out. They looked awful, but Houston's not that great either. So I don't know if I'd feel great laying points with Houston, but I could see the Houston, the support for Houston and the Dallas-Washington game. Who knows? That is such a toss-up. It's so hard to trust anyone in that NFC least. So to me, yeah, I could see Dallas getting support, but I would have trouble putting money down on that game.
Was that a joke, NFC least? Like, because you really emphasized that word like you were proud.
Yeah, absolutely. As a proud Giant fan, we're in the worst division, so we are the NFC least.
Okay, just wanted to know. I got a quick question about Sunday. Arthur, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this with us, man. and to put up with me. Line moves all over the place. We've seen Kansas City be bet. Las Vegas, big line move there. Seems like a lot of money coming in on the Giants. My question to you is, what is the link? Is there any game? Shut up, Joe. Is there any game that you're seeing more action on than any other game? Like, is there one game that just stands out as a game that everybody is just honing in on?
No, Lawrence, you definitely touched on a couple of them. Also, to throw in on the Bucks Chiefs game, that total's moved a couple points. It's moved from 53 to 56, so it's moved 3. You know, a lot of people are going to be on the over there. You know, Chiefs score. Obviously, the Bucks score. Chiefs don't really play defense. Bucks got a little bit of defense, but it's impossible to stop Mahomes. And the one that really hasn't moved, but the one that I just kind of wanted to throw out there was a team that the Sharps have been on all year, is the Colts. The Colts are sitting at 3.5 against the Titans. They obviously beat them a couple weeks ago. The Colts have been a very sneaky sharp play this year. Public doesn't like the Colts or doesn't bet the Colts, but the Sharps do.
So we got just a few minutes left with Arthur DiCesare, race and sports supervisor over the LINQ Sportsbook on the Las Vegas Strip. And I want to ask you, let's talk college football this weekend real quick. Any significant wise guy action, any significant public action that you've seen early in the week? Are we still talking about college football that nobody's betting a whole lot until maybe the last 12 to 24 hours before the game?
Yeah, Teddy, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of been the way it's been all year, really. I mean, you don't really see anything crazy move. You know, you'll have it, week in and week out, something moves, but nothing so far this week. And, this week, obviously, a lot of people are focusing on, the college, 2 college football games on Thursday, the 3 NFL games, and then with college basketball starting this week. So a lot of people have their focus put on something else. So nothing really crazy to report yet on college football.
But as you said, we do have college basketball. Let's talk about where the action is coming in on the opening day. Give us an actionable play where the wise guys seem to have found a pretty strong opinion, or maybe a weak opener when it comes to the opening day of college basketball.
Yeah, 2 I can just mention real quick. Oklahoma State was -6.5. They're now -9. That not to me is only just a sharp play, but even people I've talked to who are casual college basketball bettors have been on Oklahoma State. And then the Villanova Boston College total, which opened at 140, has moved to 144. People have been on the over, and the college basketball totals, they just go crazy. Once an opener, whatever it opens at, you could see college basketball totals move 5, 6, 7, 8 points. So, if you find your best number in a college basketball total, bet it early because they will move.
Arthur, thanks so much for joining us, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy the next few days. Don't let getting beat by your clients upset you, and don't celebrate kicking their ass. It's Thanksgiving. We're all in this together. Joe, you are driving me nuts in my ear but I do love you. Arthur, anything quickly to promote?
Nah, no promotion, guys. Listen, just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys. A lot of health and happiness to you and your families. And, it's always a pleasure to come on with you guys. So I'm very thankful for that.
Well, we love having you, man. That is for sure. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Get out of here. We're right back. Ralph Michaels still up.
It's not a secret how much free quality information WagerTalk, Sportsbook, and the Gold Sheet produce. And next up, we're giving out the WagerTalk College Basketball Guide. This might be the most informative collection of sports betting info we've ever produced. We're covering returning starters, offensive, defensive, and tempo rankings, recruiting rankings, head coaching info and background, and so much more. Even if you are the casual basketball fan, head over to the Ralph Michaels page and download this amazing guide for free.
Big game breakdown time here on WagerTalk Today. And I know that he put up college football there. I'm talking college hoops. I know you guys want something actionable for tonight. And here's the one play that probably stood out to me more than any other on the opening night of college basketball. The reason it stood out to me on any other, more than any other, is because it's one that I paid attention to and did some digging on because it stood out to me at the get-go. Let's talk the Minnesota Golden Gophers against Wisconsin Green Bay. You can watch this on the Big Ten Network tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 here on the left coast. We have a Golden Gopher team that has consistently, under Richard Pitino, been unable to shoot straight. All right. We love this team defensively. Effort-wise, they're there every year. Offensively, there are issues year in, year out. You know, they finished 15-16 last year, even after a win against Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament. They played on the very last day of the college basketball season. So they didn't even get above 500 despite a fair bit of talent. They play defense. They don't shoot well. Green Bay went 17-16 last year. They fired their coach, LINQ after the year. They brought in Will Ryan. You know Will Ryan's dad. His name was Bo Ryan. He was a coach for Wisconsin for many years. Will Ryan, obviously the same coaching tree. All they're going to do is slow down the pace. All right, this is not a team that's going to run. They're going from up-tempo to slow as molasses. They're going from no defense to all we worry about defense. Now, the Phoenix have 9 freshmen on the roster, including redshirts. All right, they're not a good team. They're going to go through growing pains. But when we're talking about a total of 146 and one team can't shoot straight and the other team, all the stats say up-tempo, up-tempo, up-tempo. The new coach says, I'm going to slow everything down. You're not getting any fast break points on me. 146 seems a good notch or two too high for this better. I like Minnesota and Green Bay under the total. Betting number 663, 664. That's the big game breakdown for the opening night of college hoops today on Wednesday. Back to you, Prez.
Awesome stuff, Teddy. Love listening to you break games down. I learned so much on this show, bro. What now, Teddy?
You can't fool anyone. We know. Tell me one of the 2 teams I was talking about.
Minnesota.
Tell me the other one.
Under 146.
You don't listen when I talk. It's okay, Lauren. I'm not mad at you. You're doing stuff in the chat. You're keeping the show moving. It's not your job.
Yeah,
but when you come back on every day and use the same, you're like, that was great analysis, great breakdown.
Well,
everybody knows you weren't paying attention. It's funny.
Sometimes I listen.
I'll take the under. I'm taking the under on how often you listen.
Under on
okay.
The under on sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. He's Teddy Covers. We're lucky to have him. I have nothing but good things to say about the man, even though he has very little good things to say about me. Ralph Michaels, the revenge year has begun. You got a play that starts in 12 minutes. Happy Thanksgiving and a happy college basketball year to you, my friend. I know you are chomping at the bit.
Have you guys wished Kelly happy birthday today?
I did.
Okay, good deal. I was not watching earlier because I was watching college hoops. This show's getting in the way of daytime watching. And I'll tell you what, Xavier looks good. They are absolutely crushing Oakland, 53-12 at the half. And I'll tell you what, you guys were talking about big line moves. Abilene Christian went from a 1.5-point dog to a 7-point favorite against East Tennessee State. Guys, that's exactly what you're going to use the free guide for at WagerTalk. East Tennessee State was a power. They finished top 60 RPI last year. They had 5 returning starters. They had one of the best coaches. This year, no returning starters. Their head coach leaves. They are my biggest drop in my power ratings. When you go from a team that had 5 starters to a team that had no starters and didn't recruit any 3, 4, or 5 stars, don't be afraid to drop them by 15 points in your power ratings. East Tennessee State is one of those teams this year.
Ralph, can I jump in quick? You got
Absolutely.
a game starting in 10. You got a game starting in 10 minutes. Our listeners want to know what it is. You're selling it at WagerTalk.com.
I'm not selling it. I gave it away yesterday, Prez. It was the Friends of WagerTalk play. So do we give it away,
or do we listen to that either?
Yeah, I guess not. Well, we'll mention it now that you said it. It is Miami, Ohio, -6.5. Miami of Ohio, boy, their top player did transfer to Pitt, but they had everyone else back. They got 3 guards that could handle the ball. North Dakota lost the best player in the Summit. He averaged 19, 5.5, 1. They only played 7 deep. So when you only return 2 starters and you only played 7 guys, there's not much depth in that. It's Miami of Ohio. That is one of my plays at WagerTalk.
I bet it, Ralph. I bet it, and I bet it solely based on your recommendation. So thank you for that. Let's hope it's a nice way to start what has been deemed your revenge year.
It is.
Going, bro.
Angle of the day. So this applies to the Giants. And Teddy, for those that watch every day, more and more of this off a bye theme with momentum or non-momentum keeps coming up in these angles, I find. So this applies to the New York Giants. And it's simply this. You can go all the way back to 2001 with this angle. There's not many plays, but you play on an away favorite of 3 or more that is off a bye and off a win. That's it. The New York Giants won prior to their bye. They are now away favorite because of Joe Burrow. But again, there's a big drop off from Joe Burrow to their backup. That has gone 71.2% against the spread, 42-17.
And if you talk about, I would probably say that has been the single biggest wise guy move in early betting action for this Sunday, has been money pouring in on the Giants. And again, we talk about that early week money. That's not public money. That's money from winning bettors. So the fact that this angle is saying 71% on teams like the Giants, maybe we understand a little bit more why that money pouring in against Cincinnati with Ryan Finley at QB. Ralph, I wanted to ask you on air about that trend that got thrown over to me. There was where the favorites on Thanksgiving have been killing it to the tune of 33-13 ATS, and you have a modest confirmation of that. Can you talk about that real quick?
It is. I cannot pull out Thanksgiving week. That is not a separate week. But when I do go in and do November Thursday games, weeks 12 and 13. So this is going to have a few additional games. Now, that lone Thursday game the week before Thanksgiving or that lone Thursday game the week after. So there are a handful of random games thrown in there, but not many. But this does give you the gist. These are confirmed numbers since 2004. Straight up favorites, Thanksgiving Day or that random Thursday, 43-8 straight up. And 68.6% against the spread. So you tell me Thanksgiving favorites 69%, I would have never believed you. And I have probably done TNA on Thanksgiving Day multiple days. And it just shows you how it adds up year after year.
So, that's one of those trends that makes I don't know if it makes sense, but it's paid off. And it's paid off consistently. And I've watched it enough that I don't play contrarian on Thanksgiving Day. I play whatever side or total I'm looking for. Lawrence, you sound interested.
I will say this.
You look interested.
I will say this. The favorite is obviously the better team. And I think Thanksgiving is a special day. I think people are watching. We know people are watching. People are used to getting the old Madden Turduncan. It is a tradition. So I think the better team does want to shine in the national spotlight for Thanksgiving.
Ralph Michaels, what do you got for the Friends of Ralph segment?
I've got one thing I want to run through. This shocks the heck out of me, Teddy. I don't know if you've ever thought of this. I ran home dogs by the week. So, home dogs, game number 1 through 6 in the NFL, have hit 53.5%. At the end of the year, when these home dogs are beaten and worn down, home dogs from weeks 11 through 16 have only hit 42.1%. So a 13% gap from the first 6 weeks to the last 6 weeks. And there you see in the middle, there's a couple good, couple bads. But look at the dominant records every week. This goes back since 2014. Home dogs early in the season when you are excited, perhaps you are a bit underrated that you could pull off the win. You've been above 500 at 53.5. Later in the year when the better teams are trying to beat you down and you're at home and trying to get rid of the season, home dogs week 11 on, only 42.1%.
I have breaking news unconfirmed, but it is breaking right now. It looks like that Steelers-Ravens game is going to be canceled. I just got a text from a pretty good source. So unfortunately, a game that we broke down a couple of times doesn't look like it's going to be played. And that's certainly bad news for the NFL on Thanksgiving Day. But that's a fascinating
And
trend.
you know what? And it tightens up those Circa Survivor contests. Now they only have 2 games to pull from for Thanksgiving Day. So I'm sure a lot of people were going to be on the Steelers, as the highest point spread favored for the day. So now their choices are down to 4 for the Circa Million. Yeah, so again, those home dogs make sense to you, Teddy? Pass your test?
It makes absolute sense because your home dogs at the end of the year are gassed and are beaten down, beaten up, and out of gas. And it would make perfect sense that home dogs would be much better in September and October than they would in November, late November and December. It does pass the.
And guys, I just want to mention this. I am the $2 capper at WagerTalk. Since that game does go tonight at 7 o'clock, we left it up all day today. If you didn't get the opportunity yesterday, if you go to WagerTalk.com, you can get my top play for today for just $2. That tips off at 7 p.m. Eastern. And the Friends of Ralph play, Tony Mejia, again, a great addition to WagerTalk. We stole him from Vegas Insider. The guy does tremendous write-ups, and he's been a pleasure to deal with. So he has 2 plays on the same game, and I'm going to give you both. It is soccer. It does kick off at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, so about 2 hours from now. He has Bayern Munich minus 2 goals, minus 125, and he has Bayern Munich and Salzburg over 4.25 goals. That's the split bet where it's over 4 and over 4.5. So Friends of Ralph play Tony Mejia, Bayern Munich minus 2 goals, and Bayern Munich over 4.25 goals for afternoon soccer action.
Awesome stuff, Ralph. Just want to quickly mention Carm was on yesterday, ended up killing it in soccer. I think he had a 4-0 day, so congrats to him as well. Teddy, I know you're never in the chat room talking to people because you actually pay attention to the guests on the show, which I respect. We each have our role. But we broke it in the chat room before you even broke it, and they have said the game is being moved to Sunday. So shout out to all the people who join us every day. You guys are a savvy, intelligent, well-educated, and well-informed bunch, except one of you. We love having you all with us. A huge shout out to all of you. Have an incredible Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. Really just enjoy it. 2020 has been a tough year, but a year that we're going to look back on, and it's going to just be one of those adventures in life. So please kiss your family. Say a prayer for Teddy because he's so miserable all the time. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Steve Merril, Arthur DiCesare, Teddy. Before that, wait. Joe, happy Thanksgiving to you too, my brother. I love you. Teddy, take us home.
Teddy, by the way, you're never crabby when Prez isn't around. I don't understand that.
Yeah, well said, Ralph. Well said.
And the irony is that most of what he gets mad at is me smiling and laughing at him while he's talking, which is not me being grumpy. It's me enjoying and making fun of Prez in the funnest way I can think of, where our viewers and listeners can laugh at him too. All that being said, we're not gone for the weekend. We're just taking tomorrow off. Tomorrow is Turkey Day. And like Lawrence, like Ralph, like Arthur DiCesare, like Steve Merril, I want to wish all of you a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Make some money if you can. If you can't, no big deal. We'll be back again on Friday, right here, with another episode of WagerTalk Today.
It's not a secret how much free quality information WagerTalk, SportsMoma, and the Gold Sheet produce. And next up, we're giving out the WagerTalk College Basketball Guide. This might be the most informative collection of sports betting info we've ever produced. We're covering returning starters, offensive, defensive, and tempo rankings, recruiting rankings, head coaching info and background, and so much more. Even if you are the casual basketball fan, head over to the Ralph Michaels page and download this amazing guide for free.
Everyone at WagerTalk would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. With a full day of football on Thanksgiving, football all day Black Friday, plus a normal Saturday, Sunday, and Monday slate of games, we have a special Turkey Day offer for you. Football for the rest of November through Monday, November 30th for only $69 for this entire week of football. There is no limit to the number of handicappers you can buy during this Thanksgiving special. Pay only $69, save money, get your winners in a quick, convenient fashion, and have a great Thanksgiving weekend.